Today we're going to cover, it could be controversial, but the topic of you have to have an ego. This kind of really became reality to me when doing, I think, my second or third jiu-jitsu tournament. As you know, I'm pretty humble. I don't like to say I'm the best at anything. I don't like to brag or put myself out there to where I'm showing off or anything like that. I would think most people think that of me. There I go again. But when you step into a jiu-jitsu tournament or anything on a competitive level, you have to go in there believing that you are either the best in the world, or that you're unstoppable, or you could beat anyone at any time. And it's kind of a different persona, I guess I would say. I had two separate gears. I would have my normal training jiu-jitsu Zach, and then I would have my competition Zach. And when I was in competition, I was a completely different person. I came in there just ready to go, thought I could beat anyone, anytime. I was the best. Partially teammates pumping that into me as well, as you should to all your teammates and all the people around you when you go into a competition, when you're building your team up. You guys all need to walk in there thinking you're the baddest group of dudes around. And most tournaments, if you haven't been to jiu-jitsu tournaments or anything like that, it's kind of team oriented as well. You kind of go up against different schools, and hopefully you end up matching up with your own teammate in the end. That'd be fantastic.
Right. No, that'd be great.
But yeah, take first, second. That's awesome. But the first tournament I ever went to, I went in there kind of with my normal humble attitude. That was just coming in here just to compete, no ambition, I guess I would say, to just dominate. And I did all right. I was 3 months training at the time, but I lost to a blue belt my first match. Ended up placing second in gi or something like that. But when I went in there the next time and the time after with that different demeanor, I think it was my second tournament. I beat the instructor for the jiu-jitsu program for the military, and so I just my head just blew up right there. But and that's always been something that I try and keep calm and keep down low. But as soon as I did that, the rest of the tournament, it was just clicking. I was just boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna beat everyone immediately. And I think I took first in gi there, second in no gi. I forget what I placed in absolute, but I was up there for sure. And if you don't know what absolute is, I was going to tournaments at 145, 150. Absolute goes all the way up to 180. So I'm at the very low end of the absolute. And if I'm tooling guys at 180, I felt pretty good about myself. But I don't know what your experiences are with that, but I believe you have to have some of that, especially with the real estate game and going in there to meet a client or something. You have to go in having a huge ego or believing you're going to close the deal. I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be that you think you're so amazing, but that you have to go in there believing that you're going to win, or that you're going to close the deal, or that you have to go in there with confidence.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is you want to be humble about everything you do. We're not saying have an ego where you get yourself on this higher plane. Maybe it's just a self-perceived thing, and you all you other guys just totally suck. I'm the shit. We're not saying that. And we're not saying because they say the ego is to edge God out. We're not saying to push God out of your life or anything, or your higher power or your universe or whatever. We're not saying any of that stuff. We're saying the belief level we're making an extreme statement saying you need to have an ego with everything you do. Be proud of what you're doing. So that way you walk into it fiercely. You walk into it strong.
Yes.
You walk into it with all the confidence that you normally wouldn't have had you went into that thing going, oh, I'm all right. You know, maybe.
Yeah.
And, you know, honestly, like Pace, he says that he goes into all these buy appointments and he tells them right up front, I'm probably not your buyer. Mm-hmm. But in the back of the back of Pace's head, he's absolutely, that's his first step. That's what he's putting out there to disarm you, because he's going to close that deal.
He's gonna be your buyer.
That's, and when we're saying you have to have an ego about what you're doing, you have to be proud of yourself. You have to be, like, literally, when I go to the gym, I love going to, like, when you first start going to the gym, when you don't have any results yet, you look in the mirror, you get a little bit of a pump, and you're like, oh, well, you know, I look a little better. I'm a little more firm than I was when I came in here. And then slowly over time, veins start popping out and this and that. And like, you look at yourself in the mirror, and that's like a guide. Honestly, like, I'm in the gym, I work out, and I like to see the results. I like to see the veins start popping out. I like to see everything. Mm-hmm. I don't sit there and obsess over myself in the mirror, but I don't give a shit what anybody else in the gym is looking at or doing. I don't give a fuck. I'm there for me. I'm there to build myself to the next level. If I listened to anybody else, or if I was worried about what anybody else in the gym thought of me, I wouldn't be able to carry that strength of person, of center, into that arena and drive so hard. Mm-hmm. If I cared what anybody, I have my headphones in. I trip out on people that go into the gym that don't have headphones in, because I'm noisy sometimes. If I'm totally going to failure every single time I go into the gym, and I get loud. It just is what it is. Yeah. And it's not like an egocentric thing where I'm just like, oh, it's all about me, it's all about me, it's all about me. It goes back to that whole saying, if you're not full, you can't pour anything out. If I don't have results, nobody's going to look at me and want to know how to get results. And the funny thing is, I started at the beginning of this year, completely irrelevant in the gym. Now people are asking me, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I don't have a massive amount of experience in bodybuilding yet. I look into it a lot, among other things. I'm just saying this is like the foundational thing. All the things that I'm doing right now, levels of complexity, levels of needing to learn something, going to the gym and working out is the easiest fucking thing I have to do. It's automatic. I have to do it every single day. It's freaking fun. It's a badass addiction to have, and you consistently attract people because of your results. There's one of the fantastic things is I have a friend that wanted to lose a lot of weight, hasn't done a fucking thing. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I tried to help, you know, what it is. Yeah. But then there's 3 guys in the gym, two of which specifically have, they go in there and they do these insane ab workouts. And I think I've even mentioned this in another video. And I walk up and I told them, I was like, hey, what are you guys trying to do? Because you're doing all these ab workouts, because people think that you just do a bunch of ab workouts and you're going to have abs. It doesn't work like that. No. Your abs are already there, likely. You probably already are freaking ripped. You just have a shit ton of sub-Q fat on you, or and you can't see the abs yet. Then your skin hasn't sutured to the stomach muscle yet. It's the only way to do that is with diet. And they're like, how did you do it? How'd you do it? I'm like, you have to control your diet. The gym is 20% of it. Mm-hmm. The diet's 80%. And now here they are, like 2 months later, and this dude Freddie's like pulling up his shirt. He's like, dude, I'm like, dude, you're freaking getting it. And I was like, what's your diet like? And he just goes through it. He's like, I'm doing what you told me to do. Like, it's simple as that. Follow directions. And I'm getting off topic a little bit, but I wouldn't have the balls to help this dude do anything had I not had enough ego to build myself to a certain point to even know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So, yes, stay humble. Yes, don't go in there, oh, I'm freaking this and that and this and that. Go in there into life, staying humble, willing to help people, but build yourself, fill yourself up. Yeah. So that way that you can pour out and help other people. But yes, walk into every arena that you try to figure out how to become the best. If you're not the best already, set that as your current lie. Set that so it becomes your future truth. Move forward, constantly moving forward. And I assure you that everybody at any level in business, in life, in general, whatsoever, has a little bit of ego, has a ton of freaking doubt that they fight. And sometimes it just takes that ego to dominate the freaking doubt.
Absolutely. I have plenty of doubt in jiu-jitsu all the time. To me, it's kind of just like a light switch that I got to be able to turn on and off when I need to. Because no one wants that person walking around thinking they're the best all the time. No one really likes that, but it's a reality. I don't think there's a single fighter out there that steps into that octagon thinking they're going to lose.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not stepping into that octagon.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that I don't think there's any athlete out there that steps on the field thinking they're going to lose. Hopefully not.
It all shakes out in the end. But the thing about it is you're failing forward. You're failing faster.
Yeah.
You're willing to step into the arena.
No one starts a business or a small business thinking they're going to fail. They're like, oh, I'm just going to do this because I'm going to fail.
I disagree.
Well,
I haven't stepped into business thinking I'm going to fail, but there's a
reality
possibility
to it, yeah. But you don't step into it thinking like, oh, I'm going to dump 20 grand into this, and I know
I'm just wasting 20 grand. Yeah, that's true. No, you're right.
You're doing it because you believe that it can work. You know the reality that there's a strong potential that it fails, but you believe in it enough to actually push forward. You believe it can succeed.
Right.
If you are stepping into it thinking, oh, I'm just going to fail, here's 20 grand. But, hell, give me the 20 grand, please. I'll take it.
Right.
Because if you're just blowing it, thinking that it's going nowhere, I'll take it.
Life is a series for me, anyways. I'm not saying this about anybody else. Life is just a series of doubting myself and also having the self-perception that I am more powerful than I'm giving myself credit for. If you are lucky enough to have somebody in your life, not necessarily on the positive side, but tells you can't do something, I don't have that anymore. Nobody's telling me, oh, there's no way that you could do that. I fucking wish I had that. Because it's like almost a guarantee. What's that?
I'll do it.
It doesn't mean anything. Like, it's funny because every single time in my life that somebody like viciously, you can't fucking do that. You fucking, you know what I mean? Bam, it's done. You know, now I'm in this whole other world where I don't have, it's just that negative encouragement. And not that everybody functions off of that. Sometimes it diminishes you as well. Actually, I think it does. It tears you down. At the same time, it makes you have to prove that you're not what they say that you are.